Hi everybody, have a wonderful day. In this video talk about Startech 3-port USB-C hub. Hey guys, InfoRx helpful to your tech life. If you come in first time in this channel, subscribe our channel. Okay, let's go to the topic. If you're looking for a way to add USB-A and Ethernet ports to your laptop, this USB-C hub from Startech might be the solution. Even if you spend hundreds of dollars per month on a great network connection, you're guaranteed to lose some bandwidth using a wireless connection. That's why it's a good idea to use Ethernet whenever possible to maximize your upload and download speeds. Unfortunately, many of the best laptops today don't ship with an Ethernet port, largely because of the port size demands. But nearly all laptops have a USB-C port, so some manufacturers work on hubs that can restore Ethernet and USB-A ports to newer laptops. In a market full of great USB-C hubs, the Startech 3-port USB-C hub with Ethernet has a few features that make it stand out from the rest. It also has a few flaws that prevent it from being the go-to solution for people looking for an everyday USB-C hub. However, with Gigabit Ethernet and USB 3.2 Gen 1 support, it's a great accessory for people who just want networking and data transfer. Startech 3-port USB-C hub with Ethernet. Portable Ethernet hub. Add Gigabit Ethernet to any laptop. Although many of the best laptops feature USB-C, not all have USB-A or Ethernet ports on board. With this adapter, you can restore Ethernet and 3 USB-A ports to your laptop. It's a portable solution that has a few design elements that make it great for working on the go. Brand Startech. Connection USB-C. Ports 3x USB-A, 1x GBE. USB-C power delivery up to 15W, shared between 3 ports. Power supply included. No. Weight 4.8 ounces. Dimensions 16.5 by 2.1 by 0.6 inches. Pros. The Gigabit Ethernet port adds a wired connection to laptops. The longer cord reduces stress from a laptop's USB-C ports. The build quality is excellent, with a metal housing and reinforced cord. Cons. There are no USB-C ports. The USB-A ports only have 15W of PD to share between them. Auxiliary power is micro USB. Pricing and availability. The Startech 3-port USB-C hub with Ethernet retails for $69 on Amazon and $57 on Startech's website. A deal at the time of writing brings the price down to $48 on Amazon. The hub is only available in one colorway, with a space gray aluminum finish, a black power cable, and yellow accents. The USB-C hub with Ethernet turns one USB-C port into 3 USB-A ports, an Ethernet port, and a micro USB input for auxiliary power. What I like: Gigabit Ethernet works great on computers without a jack. USB-A is on the way out, so the Startech hub's selling point is the included Gigabit Ethernet port. I've been looking for a way to use Ethernet on my laptops for a while now, since the speed differences between wired and wireless connections are so stark. Startech's USB-C hub has been the perfect solution for me, allowing me to use most of my available networking bandwidth. It's also portable, which could come in handy. I ran an internet speed test on a MacBook Air and an iMac, seeing the differences between a built-in Ethernet port, a Wi-Fi connection, and Ethernet via the Startech hub. As you can see in the table above, the Startech hub nearly matched the speed of my stock Ethernet port. The hub also crushed the Wi-Fi connection speeds on both machines, and the difference was definitely noticeable in daily use. Just loading sites felt drastically different, but the more noticeable improvements were while uploading and downloading files. I have gigabit home internet, the maximum available in my city, so the Startech hub was able to make the most of my network. However, if you're lucky enough to have faster internet, you might want to pick an adapter that matches your network's maximum speeds. Just loading sites felt drastically different, but the more noticeable improvements were while uploading and downloading files. The Startech USB-C hub makes sense for portability and laptops since it's small enough to toss in a bag, but it'll work with desktops and great gaming handhelds. If you really want to get creative, I used the hub to connect my iPhone 15 Pro Max to Ethernet. Overall, this dock works well, but you'll need a realistic and clear use case for Ethernet to make it worth your money. The longer cable is a genius design choice. Ethernet isn't the only great thing about this dock, though. It also offers a 1-foot-long cable, and I didn't realize how big of a feature this would be until I tried it. Most hubs have short cables, so they dangle from your PC when they're elevated. When connected to accessories, all this extra weight stresses the USB-C port on your devices, which could eventually wear them down over time. Aside from the durability and longevity benefits, the longer cable on the Startech USB-C hub looks more aesthetically pleasing as well. By comparison, this USB-C hub has a long enough cable that allows it to lay flat on a desk or surface. I tried it on my Lenovo YogaBook 9i, comparing the Startech hub to a generic USB-C hub I had lying around. Aside from the durability and longevity benefits, the longer cable on the Startech USB-C hub just looks more aesthetically pleasing. What I don't like, the USB-A ports don't have a lot of wattage to share. The USB-A ports on the Startech hub are rated for USB 3.2 Gen 1, which promises 5 gigabits per second. It's great for data transfer, but power delivery isn't as impressive. There's just 15W that can be shared between the three ports, which makes the Startech hub more capable of powering accessories than charging standalone devices. You can add an extra 4.5W with a micro USB input, but it's still a sub-20W output split over 3 USB-A ports. There's no pass-through USB-C, and the auxiliary power is micro USB. This USB-C hub would feel much more complete if it had a USB-C port. I consider at least one USB-C port essential for these kinds of hubs, since the USB-C port you use on your host device for the hub will be replaced with a pass-through option. Currently, this hub will only be a good choice for people who specifically need USB-A and Ethernet ports. Otherwise, it's best to choose an all-purpose USB-C hub with more output. The auxiliary power input is micro USB, which is a huge shame in 2023. I have a feeling that the hub uses micro USB to make it clear to end users that it's an input and not an output port, but that's still not an excuse. Micro USB is one of the worst and most brittle connectors ever, and it should never be used on new products. Should you buy the Startech USB-C hub with Ethernet? You should buy the Startech 3-port USB-C hub if you need USB-A and Ethernet ports. You want an adapter that you can take with you easily. You should not buy the Startech 3-port USB-C hub if you need a better variety of ports than this hub offers. You need a port with more powerful power delivery. The Startech 3-port USB-C hub is a specialized but high-quality addition to any mobile setup. The big appeal here is the gigabit Ethernet port, which I've found works well in a bunch of situations with all kinds of products. It's more difficult than you'd think to find a USB-C hub with a great Ethernet port at a reasonable price point, and Startech gets this part right. If you need what this hub offers, you won't be disappointed. But you might be able to find a more versatile and cheaper USB-C hub at the same or lower price, so the market limits who will love Startech's USB-C hub. Startech 3-port USB-C hub with Ethernet. Portable Ethernet hub. Add gigabit Ethernet to any laptop. Although many of the best laptops feature USB-C, not all have USB-A or Ethernet ports on board. With this adapter, you can restore Ethernet and 3 USB-A ports to your laptop. It's a portable solution that has a few design elements that make it great for working on the go. Thanks for watching this video. For more information, touch with us. Comment your opinions about Startech 3-port USB-C hub.